I just gotta remember the key, man.
You'll find it.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It goes like this. D&D, D&D. Don't mess with my vibe, don't mess with my peace.
Woo! God damn, that was a weak Ric Flair. Hold on, I gotta try to get it again. Hold on. Woo! All right, everybody, this is your boy, My Wand, here at Dash Radio on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
What's good?
Man, today we got an incredibly talented artist from, I want to say, from Nashville, by way of Trinidad and Tobago. We got Will Gittens.
Woo!
Hey, he was able to do it right. I was in a rap battle the other night, and I literally was rapping too much. My voice got caught.
Man, that's a good problem to have.
I had to do this for the homie. He said, Will, we got to get into this.
Mm-hmm.
You got it? Like Will Gittens, you know?
Oh, wow. That
real
went over
corny.
my head.
Real corny. I'm the worst. Will,
Get
man, this is an honor to sit down with you, man.
Man, honor is mine.
You are an incredibly, I love when I get to talk to, and no disrespect to artists who can't play instruments and stuff, but when I get to talk to a real talented musician.
I appreciate that, man.
Absent of you being poppin', absent of you being Grammy nominated, absent of all the hits, you are just an incredibly fucking talented musician.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man.
No, of course, man, of course. And then on top of that, a guy here is Grammy nominated.
Yeah.
Gemini was a crazy project.
Thank you so much.
You know, one of the most interesting things to me about the Gemini project was I couldn't hear your accent when you sang on it.
Nah, yeah, that was strictly R&B.
So when you get into your R&B bag, do you is it easy for you to switch that accent off? Man,
I think that's one of my greatest gifts in music is that I grew up an island kid, and even though I was in the islands in that environment, my father is my biggest inspiration in music, and he's the one that put me onto all the American artists. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, he put me onto all the gospel artists, all the Stevies, the Michael, the Princes, all the Michael Boltons and the James Ingrams and all that. And so for growing up, it's just I always had a great island reggae. I always had R&B. I always had gospel, pop. My dad was a music lover at heart. So that allowed me to tap into whatever bag I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's amazing, man. Because when you walked in, I was wondering if you had been losing the accent through time. You know what I mean? But then you dropped That Is TT.
That Is TNT.
And the accent was back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, That Is TNT, man. Shout out to my country, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I still am very, very proud of my country and to be from there. Absolutely. And there's a lot of talented people in Trinidad that don't have opportunities. So I was blessed to be able to be in a place like America where there is a land of opportunity.
Absolutely.
You know, but that was me kind of paying homage and being like, hey, I've never done a song that's straight up from my country. And so this is to show them, hey, I'm still Trini, you know. Yeah. So that's what That Is TNT is.
You can hear it in the voice.
Yeah.
You can just have the Caribbean swag, you know.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. That's good.
I used to work with a bunch of Jamaicans, and there's nothing I appreciate more than just the wagwan, the ivory. It's so up.
It's cool, man. Yeah. It's cool.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Super cool. But yeah, I was so shocked when I went through Gemini again this morning, and I'm like, I really don't hear dude's accent.
Yeah.
But then you know, so you're able to just switch it off.
Yeah, I think that's something that when it all is said and done, I'm gonna be known as one of the most versatile artists. And
absolutely.
That's just because this is how I normally talk. But when I sing, I could sing in a Trini dialect. I could sing in any dialect that I want to. I actually have a song that I sang in Spanish, and you know, I love Hispanic culture. I currently reside in Boyle Heights, which is straight up Mexicans, and I freaking love it, man.
Absolutely.
Our neighbors all love us, and they be bringing us food.
Español?
Yeah, poquito.
Un poquito?
Yeah.
Un poquito.
Me llamo es Guillermo.
Yeah. Me llamo es mi Juan.
Habla claro.
Okay, you speak it a little bit.
It's funny because I don't really know how to roll my tongue that well, so I'll be finessing it. But the little Spanish shorties like it.
Yeah. Like Vidia, you know, you're supposed to say Vidia.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't get it.
That's hilarious.
Life of me. But yeah, it really reminds me of when I listen to Rihanna. Rihanna can really turn off her island accent.
She can.
In like within a note.
Yeah.
And then she'll bring that shit back.
Yeah, and even when she's like having interviews, sometimes she will say a slew of 20 words that's super island, and then she will sound super American.
Exactly.
And that's really from just being in America as many years as she and I have.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, you came from, so you did, like, you know, there's some artists who come from, is it fair for me to, like, what I don't want to say Trinidad Tobago isn't a third world country.
Well,
right?
it's tech, like, in some, with some parts you would think so, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's third world.
Okay.
But there's some parts, like the parts that my father grew up in, and you could consider it as that poor. But Trinidad is one of the richer countries in the island, so
Okay.
because of the oil and some of the natural resources. So it's not third world. There's still a lot of people there that don't use air conditioning, and they're using fans and other
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah.
Well, one thing I was going to say is that you didn't come from, like, you came from the bottoms of Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Man, how did you make it out of Trinidad over to Nashville, over to the Berklee College of Music, and then here to LA?
Wow, that's a really good question. I always gotta pay homage and just like honor to my dad, my father, man, Sterling Gittens. And what's actually really cool is recently I did my first song that my dad and I did together, you know, and he wrote a chorus, and then I went and I wrote the verse, the pre-hook, and then the bridge. And it was our first collab, and my dad's had a dream back then to just to win a Grammy and stuff like that, right? And I hope that through his seed, me and my brother, we do music together, that we could fulfill that destiny from just something that he kind of gave up on. And it's just like, my dad's in his, like, close to his mid-60s now, and it's just like, I want to make that dream a reality.
I love
and just
that.
because it's something that he didn't even realize how much of an influence he had over my brother and I. Just being there in our lives, you know. Shout out to all the black dads that stay in their kids' lives, man. And a lot of times, even though in media and stuff, people, they always make jokes as our black fathers are not there, but there's a lot of black fathers that are there. And my dad, the cards that was dealt to him, his mother not really loving him, and his father never being there, to love my siblings, all of us, in the way that he did, is I'll always have honor for my dad, because he technically didn't have to. A lot of times people get cards dealt to them, and then they pass it on to their younger generations, and they perpetuate a cycle of just toxicity.
Yeah.
And my dad flipped the negativity that he got and loved the crap out of his kids. And
That's amazing.
I'll always.
What's his name again?
His name is Sterling Gittens.
Sterling Gittens, man. Shout out to you. And he definitely can and will win that Grammy through you.
Yeah, man.
You know, Beyonce's daughter won a Grammy because Beyonce put her
yeah,
daughter
that's
Blue on a
true.
record.
Yeah.
So if Beyonce can get like a 5 or 6 year old a Grammy, bro, you can definitely get your dad a Grammy.
Yeah, man. We gonna get that
You
Grammy,
can
pups.
do something. So is this song out? The song that you and your pops did?
What's crazy is, for me, because I do covers. People know me for covers, but a lot of people don't know how skilled I am as a songwriter and as an artist myself. The song is, this is the first time I'm saying it anyway. The song is called Funny Feeling. And I'm going to like put it out just like how I do a cover. And I want hundreds of people to be like, yo, what is this, a cover of something? Because I do that sometimes. Like, I hit people with a little doozy. And I want people to just be like, yo, I need this song. And I'm going to kind of market it that way, so that when it builds up, you know, we'll have a expectation to drop the song, and it'll be this big moment, because it is fantastic.
I love that. That's a great idea. I've never heard of an artist you're gonna present it as a cover, then people are gonna be knocking like, yo, what the fuck's the original? What's the original?
Yeah, and that's happened before. I've done it a couple times. I have this song called Alone, and when I put it up, they were just like, yo, what is this? Is this your song?
Yeah.
And I just like that, because I've built the huge following primarily from putting my flavor on a lot of other artists' originals.
But hey, your original work though too. Let's not sleep. When I listen to Gemini, you go back to that. That is a great project.
Thank you so much.
Original.
Yes.
Common Sense was great.
You like that one?
Yeah.
That's my sister's favorite. Yeah.
Repeat too.
Repeat is yeah.
That's
What
a
you think
project.
about Problems? The last one.
Problems.
I
Great.
can't give this up. That one is freaking crazy.
Listen, man, you're a great artist. They cannot put you in a box as like a cover artist. They just
No,
can't.
sir. Thank you, man.
Plus, you know, as we were saying on the way in here, even if somebody was to ever be like, "Oh, you're a cover," you know, you gotta tell, bro. Music has been it's been like that. We're saying Lauryn Hill, Killing Me Softly, was a remake of Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly, which was a remake of another dude's version of Killing Me Softly from the 40s.
Right.
And honestly, if Lauryn doesn't do her version, most of the world would have never heard that song.
Yeah, a lot of times people don't even know that song that Metro Boomin just dropped with The Weeknd. I don't wanna know.
Mario Winans and Diddy.
Bro, that's exactly it. It's like I'm 30 years old, so I completely know it as that, but I can't get mad at a 13, 14-year-old that doesn't know Mario Winans and just like,
absolutely.
you know, so everything is just a revolving door of just the same stuff. Hopefully someday people are flipping my songs and
they will be.
And you know what I'm saying?
You beat me to that. I was gonna be one of the things I brought up in the interview is I think it's gonna be such like a tear jerker for you. One of those
that's gonna mess me up, man. Yeah.
When one of these kids is on the guitar redoing a
man, what's song. To be transparent on this interview right now. There's some times where a lot of times people look at me and they see my success and they don't know the tribulations and the trials that I've been through as an independent artist. And there's been times where I felt like giving up, man, and I'm a very non-give up type mentality person. And there was times where I was like, man, this is not even worth it. It's running me to the ground. And then I'll get a DM on Instagram with this mom that has a kid sitting there watching TV, playing a little guitar. Their little fingers are too small to play, and they're watching me sing, and they're just playing with their little fingers, and they're playing, and it's like it messes me up. And I'm like, I can't give up, man. It's like even if it's just that kid, I can't give up, man. I have too much. I'm inspiring too many people.
Absolutely, I love that, and that really lets the people know to keep spreading the positivity. Is checking your DMs, and literally somebody might turn your day around, like you said, and you might get back in the studio.
Man, one thing I hope that I never lose, no matter how successful I get, is my level of humanity. I feel like a lot of times artists, when they get big, sometimes you can't be as accessible as you once was. For me, is if I'm getting 1,000 DMs a month, no, I'm probably gonna be getting 30,000 in the next, like, before the year ends. You know, with how I grow. Yeah. You know, but I just hope that when people meet me, they're just always like, man, that's a solid dude, you know, because I value myself, but I value human beings, man. I like meeting new people, you know, and that's just, I hope that I just don't lose that essence of myself.
I hope you don't either. I don't think you will. You know, it's always really cool when I get to meet an artist and they are exactly who I thought they were.
Oh, that's
exactly
awesome.
who I thought they were going to be.
Oh,
and you're just always spreading love and positivity. You always seem like, it always seems like it's a good day for Will Gittens,
man, I appreciate that.
No, of course, man. I got to give you a gift, too. I gift every artist an album from my CD collection.
Oh, wow.
And so this one's kind of a shot in the dark. I feel like you're going to rock with this album. This might be something that, you know, meant a lot to you as a kid. It's actually under your desk, like right here. If you reach all the way to the left. No, right down there. Like, you'll feel a little bit left. You feel that?
Yeah, do I pull it?
Yeah. It's a CD.
Like pull it out?
Yeah, it's a CD. Reach a little more to your left.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
The Woman in Red. Dang.
You know what that is?
This is the original motion picture soundtrack for... Dude, do you know that I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder is my favorite song of all time?
I do some research, man, of course.
Oh, dang.
Of course. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the movie. That's the movie soundtrack that song lives on.
Dude, that's very special. I appreciate that.
Man,
Thank you.
Of course. I wanted you to have that. And I read somewhere that you said if there was one song you identify with, it's I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course he gives that answer. This dude is always just so happy and upbeat.
Man.
It's a very happy and upbeat song.
Thank you, man. No one's ever done that. That's very special. Thank you.
That's for you to keep. Those
I'm
are
going to keep it.
Print too, so
wow.
Eventually, someone will have to buy it off you to get their own.
That's crazy. Hopefully, I never sell it when it's worth like $1 million in the future.
Real NFTs.
People
buying
for
NFTs
sure.
and
it's
shit.
like a collectible. Yeah,
exactly. But you love Stevie, right?
Yeah, he's like one of my
influence?
huge influences. He's brilliant, man. Just a genius, and I think he's like. If someone's like, what artist is the biggest representation of music in general, I will say Stevie Wonder.
All the time. I've always said Stevie Wonder to me is music. Like,
he's music, man.
What's your favorite Stevie Wonder album?
Song of the Key of Life, bro.
Me too.
That right there is like, it's, bruh.
I
It's
should have
top.
got
It's
you that.
top. It's top 3 albums of all time. But in my opinion, it's either that or like freaking. I think my top 3 is that, and then Off the Wall, Michael Jackson,
Great one.
and then People Asleep. You said it, Lauryn Hill's Miseducation,
Absolutely.
bro. That is a perfect freaking album, bro.
Absolutely.
So it's crazy that she didn't do any other after that. But
Yeah, it's a shame. You know, she talked about it once where she said that was her whole life in a body of work, and she had nothing else to give us after that.
That's a lot to give right there.
Exactly.
That's a seamless
But
project.
I agree with you. Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life, to me too, is my favorite album ever.
Mm-hmm.
I was debating to get you that, but I was like, I really wanted to give you the.
No, this is just as special,
I
man.
love you.
Thank
but
you.
yeah, Stevie, I have a conspiracy about him I want to address with you.
Oh, what's
'cause I
up?
bring this up all the time. I'm not 100% sure he's blind.
I've heard that everyone is starting to become more of a thing that they're saying.
Can I
that.
tell you my logic?
Let's hear it.
My logic.
Let's hear it.
Stevie came out I want to say it's 3 to 5 years after Ray Charles.
Really?
Under the same label. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, it was one or two things. The label either said, we want to, this worked really well, having a blind artist. People really gravitated towards it. Maybe it was a spectacle. Or maybe the label was like, listen, man, the only way we're going to market you is you're blind. And then maybe now he's like 40, 50 years in and he just can't tell us that he sees.
Bro, what if it's just like he wasn't blind and know that he's older and has problems seeing, he actually can't see as well. But no, man, I honestly, based on, because I actually ran into to Stevie Wonder. I met him in person when I was 18 in a guitar center in Nashville right before I left for college. And I don't get starstruck, bro. But I was just like, I just froze up and I was like, bro, I gotta go say something to him. And he had big bodyguards around him, and I was like, "Hey, can I say hi to him?"
Yeah.
And like just say hi to him.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he's like, it's just like, I don't know if it's an act, but for me, it felt like he authentically was blind.
Okay. Okay.
So and then how he holds on to the people is kind of like is that he needs them to see. But
I went to his show and he sat down on the piano way too smoothly. I remember being like, hold the fuck on.
Man, but if you think about repetition though, bro, if you do a tour and you're doing the same thing, you could
That's
close
true.
your eyes and know where you're going.
That's true.
That's
true. No,
So-
he is probably blind. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
He is probably blind.
I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Probably,
He came
definitely.
out after Ray Charles, and there hasn't been another since. It could have been a great marketing tactic.
That could have been, but man, I don't know who's gonna pretend to be blind for
I mean,
decades,
at this point,
man.
he has to, bro.
I know,
He
right?
can't-
To
he'll lose
uphold it.
all.
Yeah. I don't think he will lose it all, but it's just one of those things that is just gonna be like, dang, that's crazy that they lied about that for so long, But it doesn't even matter if he's blind or has 40/40 vision, man.
Yeah,
He's Stevie Wonder.
Exactly. But back to Will Gittens, man.
For sure.
So your pops is what helped you get out of Trinidad, right? Did
Yeah.
he move you guys over to Nashville?
Yeah, my dad migrated my whole family to Nashville. He got a special visa just because of who he was. My dad's like a legend in Trinidad. He was very pivotal in the music scene, yeah.
Really?
And my dad was trying to start a record label and stuff. But
Over there or
yeah,
here?
in Trinidad.
Okay.
But the reason why he moved, his whole family, is my dad, we're kind of similar in that way. It's like if we're in an environment and it's, you got, picture it's like a small pond, right? But my dad's a whale. He can't stay in that. He needs to go in the ocean to where being a whale is going to be more normal. All these other little fish could be a fish in the pond. My dad's a whale. And he's like, no, I'm a whale too, man. I'm a blue whale.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest whale there is. And so for me, and being in other places, like I used to be in Atlanta, I just felt like that environment was not fit for a whale. So I'm in LA where there's other whales.
I love that. Yeah, tons of whales out here.
Tons of whales,
But
man.
I do feel like Nashville had to play a role in your life because you and the guitar like this.
Yeah, man.
Nashville is the home of the guitar.
Man, yeah. So I had so many, like, what's funny is I went to this private school in Nashville that I was blessed to go to called Ensworth. Shout out to Ensworth High School. And their kids is some of the wealthiest people in Nashville. Their kids went there. So Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. I used to play sports too. They used to come to all of my football and basketball games.
Shit.
And then Amy Grant and Vince Gill. And Vince Gill, how he plays guitar, and it was super inspiring for me. And a lot of other people, like I used to just watch them and be like, damn, I want to play guitar like that.
Yeah.
And so So yeah, Nashville in general, man, just walking down Broadway and you walking down the street, you hearing so many people just jamming country tunes, rock tunes. And what's crazy, a lot of people don't even know this about me, just being around a whole bunch of Caucasian dudes, a lot of people put my brother on to death metal and shit and stuff. And it's weird because like most black people don't consume that. But death metal is crazy. The musicianship in death metal is like freaking bar none. And so like somebody could be playing something, like if say I'm in an Uber car and they're playing like death metal and I'm like, oh, what you know about Lamb of God? And they're like, they look back, they're like, what you know about that? And I'm like, that's why our music sounds the way it does. We've studied everything and we embrace good music in general, you know. So.
I love that, man. And speaking of family, you've worked with your brother.
Yeah.
Is it kind of weird being in this, like working on a song with his sibling?
No, it is not weird. It is like it's the most opposite
of
weird.
Argue over a record? Like
we sometimes like will be we don't see eye to eye, but that's what usually when we don't agree to something, I'm excited because I know it's gonna be super fire. You know? And the crazy thing, and it's just like shout out JR, man. He literally, I will do a song, I'll play it acoustically, record it, and I'll sing vocals on it, right? I send it to him and he's downstairs. I'll just send it via email. He gets it. And then 2-3 hours later, I come downstairs and he's like 75% done. And it's exactly what I thought. Cause it's this weird thing. When I do something, I'm already thinking about the bass and the drums and what it's gonna sound like. And in that way, it's almost like we're like twins. You know, we're twins, no matter where they are, they feel certain things similarly. My brother and I are 2.5 years apart, but I'll send him something and he will feel the emotions of what I said, even just through the guitar. Damn. And what he produces is exactly what I was feeling. And it's actually magical, man.
That's amazing. Because if I try to get in the studio with my siblings, we would be fighting. We would be squaring the fight. I love my siblings. I'll kill someone for my siblings. Yeah. But like, put us in the studio, try to do something. I'm like, that's fucking drums. And he'd be like, shut the fuck up at the drums. And it'd just be like, oh,
nah, man. My brother and I have a utmost respect for each other. And there's times where we'll be like, what? Like, no. And there's times where I'm like, yo, the drum should probably do this. What do you think about this? He's like, bruh, just let me, trust me. And there's times where he's like, no, you should probably redo the guitar like this. I'm like, trust me. And we just both have that type of trust with each other that if the other one's just like, trust me, we trust it. You know?
I love that, man.
And so that's what it is.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Well, that is TNT, right? To make sure I said it right.
Yeah, that is TNT.
That doesn't sound like what I heard on Gemini, right? But it's been years since Gemini.
I dropped that in September 2021, so it's in August. It will be 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Or September will be 2 years.
What are we building up to now? We got a new EP on the way. We got project.
What's crazy? So this is where it is. It's like, so I'm still fully independent, right? I've like you said last year, I just got Grammy nominated for. Thank you, man, for the Dream on Chris Brown's album. And I did.
You wrote that?
Yeah, I did Dream on Chris Brown. Yeah.
I was wondering. I'm gonna be dead ass honest. I looked at that post and I was like, which one did he get Grammy nominated for? I looked at Robert Glasper's Black Radio 3. I thought maybe you were on there. But that
really?
Was what it was.
Yeah,
Chris
no,
Brown.
it was the Chris Brown one.
Amazing.
And then Tank's song Slow got consideration, but it didn't get nominated. But I wrote that one too. And so these people are like, I used to listen to them on little MP3s in the back of my mom and them's car going to school as a 15, 16-year-old. And then to have them, I had a moment of just of gratefulness. I posted on my Instagram of Chris Brown. So a fan of mine sent me a video that they went to the Chris Brown concert and they videotaped him singing my song. And I posted that, and it's just like, for me, it's just like I couldn't do anything else but thankful, because it's just like I used to listen to his songs like on the MP3 player being like, man, this is so awesome. And then fast forward like 13, 15 years, he's on a tour singing a song that I wrote and demoed. Like, it's freaking crazy. And so for me, that inspiration carrying on to this year, I'm not holding back on anything, man. I have a lot of catalog. I'm gonna continue to build relationship and shop records as a songwriter. A lot of songs that people aren't taking, I'm gonna just start dropping them, because when I record a song, it's top tier. So I don't have to go and re-record it. So if I send it to to freaking somebody and they don't want it, I don't have to go and re-record it. I could just drop it for myself and make profit and build more of a fan base. So I have a song called D&D that's dropping. I have to just try and figure out who I'm distributing it with.
Okay.
That one is gonna be special. It's gonna be fire.
Yeah, you were talking about D&D on the way here. Did you write that on the guitar?
I wrote that on the guitar, and that's one of those ones that I did it and I sent it to my brother and he produced it, and the rest was history.
What does one have to do to get you to give us a preview of D&D on the guitar?
Bro, I could do that right now.
I would say
I got my
punch
guitar.
myself in the face if I have to.
Well, get ready to get a right hook to the face.
Let's do it. I would love to hear it. This man came with the guitar, the beautiful fucking, what is that, Taylor?
Yeah.
Came with a beautiful Taylor.
I just gotta remember the key, man.
You'll find it.
All right. Yeah. It goes like this. D&D, D&D. Don't mess with my vibe, don't mess with my peace. D&D, D&D. I ain't got no time for bad energy. Do not disturb me. I'm just living life how I'm supposed to be. So D&D, D&D. Do not disturb. It's been a long week. Why is everybody trying to call me? Okay, I'm just being lonely. No responding, just leave me alone, please. I'm so bad at love, I had enough. I'm about to focus on stacking these ones. Make time for me, that's all I need. So if I go ghost, just know I'm on D&D, D&D. Don't mess with my vibe, don't mess with my peace. D&D, D&D. I ain't got no time for bad energy. Do not disturb me. I'm just living life how it's supposed to be. So D&D, D&D. Do not disturb.
That shit was all right. Listen, I don't control the charts. I have no way of just giving you a million streams. But that is a fucking hit.
Yo, appreciate it.
Whatever
man.
I can do in my power, I swear to God, all the programmers at Dash, I'm blowing you guys up.
Yo, thank you, man.
That was very catchy.
Thank you, bro.
And how the fuck do you turn the accent off so quick?
Man, yeah, no.
D&D, I forgot I was sitting here with a man from the island.
Nah, man, that's the other superpower. When you from, like, everyone has to create music that fits the American market. You know, shout out to the American market. It's such a powerful market, especially music wise. But man, like that first song that I did went super viral in 2021. This is my age, this is my sign, the Zodiac one. So I cracked the code and just formulas on how to reach different masses. You know, for me, I'm 30 years old, and most of the women that are attracted to me is like in the mid 20s to like mid 40s, you know, that's the sweet spot. But actually having certain meetings with certain companies, realizing that I still have to cater to teenage girls, you know, which for me, I can't really get involved with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but,
of course. This is not the islands anymore. We're not
oh man, dang, hilarious. Like or freaking Europe or something like that.
Yeah, right.
But for me, it's just like I still have to think about them. They are the biggest consumers of just social media and just everything in general.
Absolutely.
So that D&D song is just like, it's really it's clean. It's nothing really I said in there that's super raunchy. It's just saying like, yo, I'm just trying to focus on, don't mess up my vibe, don't mess with my peace. Don't disturb me. I'm just living life how it's supposed to be. So do not disturb, you know?
I love it, man.
And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, Apple, you know what I'm saying, if you want to do a campaign, hit the kid up, you know what I'm saying? Do not disturb. Or Samsung, anybody.
That's
Let's get it.
Saying. Let's go. Will Gittens, man. Yeah. You are incredibly talented artist.
Thank you, bro.
I want to ask you a few more questions. If there's an artist out there who's also, because you have done the really tough task of, you're huge in doing covers on YouTube, right? Everywhere, not just YouTube, but you dominated that. And a lot of people don't know how to take that and translate it into becoming an artist. What advice do you have for the other folks out there doing covers who want to take that next step?
Great question, man. First of all, if you're in that position, you were like, don't look at how I've done all these covers and think that was my first initial thought. I had to kind of like die to my ego, and I went to music school. I didn't want to do covers. I wanted to show people, hey guys, look at how good I am at music. Look at what I have to bring to music. And I had to humble myself and be like, you know what? No one knows who I am yet. And even though my songs are decent, they're not that astronomical that I could just keep putting my originals and blow up, you know? So I am big on not fast success, but just success that's going to like allow me to not have to work a 9 to 5 to build somebody else's career. So I had to be like, wow, I could do these covers. I could get paid from YouTube from doing it. I'm getting to a certain point. YouTube covers or covers in general, paying homage to other songs that are popular, you got to meet people where they are. Currently, these songs on the radio, they're signed to a record deal. A record deal is paying millions of dollars so that even if you didn't want to know those songs, you know those songs. They are currently being spoon-fed and shoved in your face. So why not take your originality? And that's where I realized, man, I play guitar like no one else can. So let me just I'm going to change some of the melodies around and make it my own so that sometimes when people hear my covers, they think it's an original song because it's so coming from such an original place. So when people get that accustomed to that, they're going to like your music if your music is not too far off from it sonically. So for me, it's like I kind of been finessing it, you know. I knew that people are interested in hearing covers, you know, but I sometimes, like I said, with the funny feeling song, I'm going to put that just nonchalantly out there. And then people are going to think it's a cover because of how I like my formula and stuff. And so, man, covers they're not bad. Now, if you are someone who you just do covers and you don't have any originals, then that's a kind of a dangerous game because you don't want to get boxed in the cover guy, you know. And for me, even if I've had a whole bunch of originals, I still get boxed into that sometimes. But I knew that was a risk I was willing to take to become successful and be able to feed myself and feed my family.
How does someone take that next step, though? What would you say is like, this is, you know what I mean, something, a cover, someone who is boxed in?
Oh,
how would you say they?
I'd say, man, a lot of times, like, it's collaboration. When I was younger, I used to be like, man, it's all about me. I feel like most creatives, because music is so personal, they want to keep it personal. But your greatness is only going to come out with a community. You know, if me and you are in a room, I could write a song by myself and it's going to be great. But if me and you write something with your experience and mine and we feed off each other's energy, and if I say something, you're like, maybe instead of and we say this. And you're like, maybe instead of tree, we say four. You're like, that right there is what creates some of the biggest songs in the world, you know. And Absolutely. So anybody that's had problems, don't let, because sometimes you have a bad experience working with someone. You're like, I'm not gonna try it anymore. There's so many people in this world, man. So just find your people to create with and go crazy.
You're absolutely right, man. Originally Michael Jackson's Thriller was called Starlight, and they recorded the whole thing. You can look it up on YouTube. They're like, Starlight, Starlight, and Quincy Jones told Rod Temperton, like, that's cool. The melody, everything is perfect, but those words aren't it. And he made them rewrite it. And Rod Temperton saw Michael watching a Vincent Price movie and had the idea of, let's make it like a horror movie. Yeah. He just was inspired. So if Quincy doesn't say that, we don't get Thriller.
No,
so
man.
To your point, collaboration and like working with the community is key.
That is very, very key.
And speaking of working with the community, I do work with the community of people myself. They're called Something Dope for the People. It's a collective of young artists. There's like thousands of artists. Every week there's 200 to 300 people coming to try to perform on stage. They put a raffle ticket in. People are waiting. Motherfuckers wait 20 hours in line. People fly in from London. What advice do you have for hungry artists in LA who are still, who haven't ever had a viral moment, who are just trying to get on a stage? What advice does Will Gittens have for the hungry artists out there?
The hungry artists out there, there's a big world right now, and social media is so awesome. You know, social media is not only is it awesome, it's life-changing. There's a lot of negative that come with social media, but you have to take everything and make it work for you. You know, now a lot of times, I'm never gonna say this is very transparent. A lot of people don't say this. Make sure you don't suck before you start doing music, right? And I'm not saying, because I used to not be as good. I was not trash. But if you are doing music and like you have just your mom and your grandmother think you're good, and it's just like you haven't been real with yourself and be like, you know what, maybe this isn't what I was put on this earth to do. When I got to a point when I figured out that moment where I'm like, wait, music is what I'm supposed to be doing. I thought I was going to be in the NBA for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? I loved basketball just as much as I love music. But I had to just be like, you know what? Let me take that same focus and drive and determination and put that to music. And here we are, you know. So first, make sure, be like, am I really cut out for this? Because this music industry is a tough one, man. If you don't have the right type of mental strength, it would depress you. And I'm just telling you this, just real talk, as someone that started doing music as an 18-year-old, and now I'm 30 years old. And you know, they say it takes a decade for stuff to really pop off. So I'm just about right there for my blessings to come, you know. But it's a long road, and so it's really is for the only people that make it are the ones that don't give up. So if you're about that life and you know that you're in it for the long haul, man, use social media, man. I know sometimes you're gonna be like, man, these apps are stupid. I don't even like TikTok. You could go and make some random stuff on TikTok, and that could blow up, and boom, you're because that's what happened to me. I just was on Vine back then. I was like, man, I had just got kicked off The Voice. I didn't make it onto The Voice. A lot of people didn't know that.
Yes, season 6.
Yeah, well, season 8. It was season 8. Yeah,
they fucked up.
Yeah, so they didn't air me on the show. I didn't have no following. They just didn't have me out to be on that show, and so I literally didn't go on that. And I was devastated, but then I was like, man, let me go on Vine and put music videos, and I kept doing it, and then one popped off, and as soon as that one, I just 2 a day, because I'm relentless, man, and I would never give up on myself, because I know that God gave me a gift, and whether or not these barriers are in front of me that try to prohibit me from being great, I'm going to be great regardless, man. And at some point, it's going to happen.
I love that. What a major key. He said, make sure, it's like, don't go into battle unless your sword is sharp. You know what I mean? He said, make sure you have it yourself as an artist.
Yeah.
And then use social media.
Yeah. I mean, especially a lot of times, mental health is so much more important, you know, and I love that, because people don't talk about the things that you deal with. As confident and as great as I am, I still will meet people. Freaking last week, I could meet someone and go in a studio, and they're just trying to be like, yeah, your music's okay. Yeah. You still need this and that. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. But for someone that has worked as hard as me, for someone to not at least be like, man, you're really dope. Like, sometimes people try to downplay you, and this is that you have to be mentally strong and prepared for this. So, you know what I'm saying? Just
listen, man, as an independent artist, you have the hardest job in the world.
Yeah.
You have moved mountains. You have done amazing things in your career.
Thank you,
But I have
man.
a good feeling that you're just scratching the surface.
Heck yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what's in store. Very excited for D&D to come out.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit, that is a record. I haven't even heard the final version of it. That was the acoustic.
Thank you, man.
That is a record. Yeah. And I'm also very excited for the record with you and your pops.
Oh, yeah, man.
Grammy fucking association, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
We got to make that happen, man.
No, yeah.
Dude's father deserves
real
a Grammy.
talk. It's going to be special, man. My dad and his 2 boys, man. Like, this, it's going to be magical. I can't wait.
JR produced it?
Yeah, JR. Well, what's
Amazing.
funny is I did it acoustically. So I'm excited. I literally hit JR up. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be on you. You gotta do this soon, because I'm really excited about that one. Because man, it's just the Gittens squad. You know,
Gittens, man,
we're getting it done. You know what I'm saying?
Will Gittens, thank you so much. Absolute gem for the culture. Before we sign off, if someone's discovering you right now, what song do you want them to listen to first?
Wow, that's a good question.
One song. They only can listen to one of your songs.
Okay, if you discover me right now and you want to listen to it, it's Forget About You. And it's it's one of my favorites. It's like, it's beautiful. It's super cinematic. The songwriting is fantastic. Production is amazing, and it's one of my most popular songs. Okay. And yeah, it will put you in your feels, you know. And yeah, go check out Forget About You.
Will Gittens, thank you so
man,
much.
Bless you, bro.
This is Maiwan here at Dash Radio. We are a believer in this man. We interviewed him 2020 on IG Live. Yeah. And now 2023, we got you in person. Woo! The next time I talk to you, I don't even know if I'm going to be allowed in the room. Woo!
Oh, man, no.
I can't even do the Ric Flair. You damn rappers getting me these rap battles.